What's going on, friends? Harley-Davidson motorcycles are no stranger to issues. But what if I told you that right now your Harley-Davidson motorcycle may potentially have a dangerous and scary issue that you're just not aware of yet? But also, what if I told you there is a way that you could still get it fixed and get it fixed for free right now? Now, as you all know, here recently, Harley-Davidson had a recall with their Softail motorcycles. Now, if you own one of those or you bought one used here recently, chances are you're probably going to get a letter in the mail stating the recall, give you the number to call, all that good stuff. But what if you bought a used Harley-Davidson that's, say, 20 years old, or any time in between that, any Harley-Davidson of any age, within reason? What would happen? Would you know? Would you get notified? Would there even be a way to find out? You could be the second, third, fourth, fifth. Who knows how many owners down the line of that motorcycle? And just what if that bike had an unresolved recall issue that was never taken care of? Guys, please don't forget, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. If you have a used Harley-Davidson motorcycle, especially an older one, you have no idea where that motorcycle has been or where it came from. The only thing you got to go by is, if you're lucky, you might have some service records and some documentation for the motorcycle, but more often than not, you're going to be going by your own visual inspection and just using your best judgment when it comes to that bike. But wouldn't it be nice to know if that motorcycle had an outstanding problem with it that was never taken care of? Well, I'm here to tell you today, there is a way to do it, and the best part is, Harley-Davidson has to fix it for free, regardless of the age of the motorcycle. When it comes to recalls, these differ from a warranty in very simple terms. These are dangerous to your own personal safety, as where warranties, they basically just cover the things that, while you're in the warranty period, that just plague your wallet and your mental sanity. Now, don't get me wrong, there's been many issues with Harley-Davidsons that weren't covered under warranty, and honestly, they probably should have been covered under a safety recall, as they could have been potentially dangerous, but somehow Harley-Davidson wiggled their way out of it. If you own an older Harley-Davidson, even if you bought it used, and there is an open recall on it, Harley-Davidson has to fix it. Their authorized Harley-Davidson dealerships have to fix that issue at zero cost to you. Now, that not only extends to the age of the motorcycle, but that is regardless of ownership, because that recall is directly associated with that motorcycle. So once again, they are obligated to fix it, and legally, they can't charge you a dime to do it. So if you have an older Harley-Davidson and you actually check for recalls on this bike and you find that it has not been performed, you are definitely in luck. Which brings me to my next point, is that if you have a 25-year-old Harley-Davidson and you bring it into a Harley-Davidson dealership that refuses to touch anything over 10 years old, you're probably going to have to do a little footwork to try to get that Harley-Davidson dealership to actually honor the recall on the bike. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more here in a minute. Now, the fun part about this is that technically this is not that Harley-Davidson dealership's choice. If they are authorized to sell and service Harley-Davidson motorcycles, they are pretty much required to go ahead and fix your motorcycle under that recall if it has not already been performed. Now, if they give you any backlash on that, you could definitely try putting in a call to Harley-Davidson, let them know the situation and know what's going on, and likely that dealership is going to get a call from the mothership at Harley-Davidson. Now, take that as you will, but I don't think I would personally want a Harley-Davidson dealership to work on my motorcycle after I've already pissed them off. But the thing is that it's kind of out of their hands, out of Harley's hands, because the National Highway Safety Transportation Administration, they take this stuff pretty seriously, and that's a pretty big deal. That is a legal issue with the NHSTA. And NHSTA takes any recall very seriously because, in their eyes, that could potentially lead to serious injury or death. So, unless that dealership is your only option, the one that's giving you grief, it might just be easier to call around and try to find a dealership that's actually willing to honor the recall. Well, honor it, they have to do it, but find a dealership that's going to do it for you without a whole lot of pushback. Now, you're probably wondering, where do I find out if my motorcycle has a recall? Well, it's actually pretty easy. You can go onto Harley-Davidson's website, and of course, you're going to need the VIN number for the motorcycle. Having that in hand, you can type that in on Harley-Davidson's website. Now, Harley-Davidson's website only goes $19.99 through the present. So if you have any bike 1999 through the present, you can actually go on your computer and find out if your motorcycle has an open recall. Now, if you have a motorcycle older than 1999, you can go to safecar.gov, the government website, and do the same thing. Type in your VIN number, and also on that website, if there's any technical bulletins associated with that motorcycle, you can also view those there too if they're available for that bike, which is super handy. I love technical bulletins because that's something usually only the dealerships get, and if you can get a hold of those can really help you track down an issue without beating your head against the wall for hours and hours and hours. And not only that, they usually give you some steps to take to try to resolve the issue, so that's freaking nice. Find out if you got a recall, and you might be able to solve some other problems at the same time on the government's website. Now, if you're on one of these websites and you do find that the motorcycle you have is associated with a recall, the next step is going to be take that VIN number down to your Harley-Davidson dealership and actually have them check that VIN number and see if the recall's already been performed. If the recall's already been performed, you're good to go. If not, you're going to get something that hardly any of us ever get out of Harley-Davidson, and that's something for free. Harley-Davidson has had many obscure recalls over the years, spanning many Harley-Davidson models and families. And just like anything with Harley-Davidson, when it comes to these recalls, you may or may not ever experience any issue with it, but it's just better to know about it and know that it's been resolved, or go ahead and get it fixed for free. And if you can get your motorcycle repaired for absolutely nothing, hell, I'm all for it, especially if Harley-Davidson's paying for it. But at the same time, anybody else touches my bike, I'm going to go back and check everything over and check their work because details matter, at least to me. Or who knows, it may have been something that you were already having issues with and just couldn't quite get it tracked down. Now, the sad part about recalls is they only protect your personal safety, they don't protect your wallet or your sanity. As I mentioned, there's been a lot of things associated with Harley-Davidson that probably should have been a safety recall. Because, I mean, think about it. You got pieces running through your engine that cause the engine to fail and to seize. That could cause the rear tire to lock up, causing a crash. And that would have been good. So probably something like that should have been considered a safety recall. But at the same time, they could also argue, well, if you weren't an experienced rider, maybe you shouldn't have been on the motorcycle, and the clutch operated on these bikes properly from the factory, there was no recall on it, you could have pulled the clutch in and saved your ass. Yeah, I know, it's a bunch of bullshit, but that's pretty much what a lawyer's gonna say. But who knows? That might be just a general scenario of how Harley-Davidson's got out of a lot of things they should have fixed that probably should have been recalls in the first place. Guys, let me know in the comments, are you gonna go out and check your VIN number to see if you have any open recalls that you didn't know about? And if you do find an open recall, let me know what you're gonna do about it. Are you gonna take it into the Harley-Davidson dealer, try to get it fixed? Let me know your experience down in the comments. Let me know if you got an older motorcycle and they actually did it without giving you a whole lot of grief. But anyhow, guys, that's all I've got for you this week. If you guys enjoyed the video, please don't forget to hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. But until next week, guys, you stay safe on the streets, ride smart, dodge those cars. I'll catch you guys back here next week with a brand new video. Thanks for watching.